Hi, my name is Terry Morelli, and this is Zachry Morelli. He's 28 years old. When he got his first set of immunizations, he got them during the day, and that night he was taken to the hospital with uncontrolled seizures. And he had uncontrolled seizures.
How old is he at this point?
He's 28.
No, when the vaccines?
He was 2.5 months old when he had his first set of immunizations.
And before that?
He was fine. Nothing wrong. He was actually, I believe it was a 9 when he came out. But they couldn't control his seizures. At age 2.5, he had a bad seizure, which gave him the brain damage and the cerebral palsy. But the seizures were uncontrolled. The doctors at Loma Linda immediately stopped his immunizations, and it was Dr. Tomasi. And the story just goes on. They did try to say that it was a certain gene that some women carry that it was affected.
That's what they said to you?
Yes. They said only certain women that carry a certain gene, which they never tested me for the gene. Of course, I didn't have any children after that, after we came across the problem. But they said it was that gene that some women carry, and that's what the immunizations did. So he's not allowed to have immunizations anymore, and not just by me, by the doctors also.
And they said they kind of admitted that the immunizations were a problem.
Yes, there was
for them.
actually a study way back when, and I can't tell you the exact date, that actually showed when it was first coming out, they said the immunizations hadn't been regulated, and that the study came out with only the women that carried that gene were affected. I was not part of the study, but I was given the paperwork on it, and I have it somewhere at home.
And what kind of a life has he had?
It's been horrible. It's been nothing but a fight. His dad left when he found out that it was a gene, when they said it was a gene. His dad left, and we do nothing but fight the government now for services, being a single mom.
So let me try and see if I've got this right. So they were saying that it's a specific gene that you have.
No, it's a gene. This I would say this was. He's 28 now. I would say it was when he was at least probably about 20 to 23 years ago that they came up and said that it was a gene that some women carry. I've never been.
They never tested you. They just decided that's what it was.
Yes.
Wow.
That there was a gene that some women carried that the vaccinations affected.
And that was just on hearsay, and this is our guess, our educated guess.
There was actually a study. I actually got the
But they never
paperwork on
tested
it.
to see if you had that gene. So they have no idea if you have that gene.
Exactly. Exactly.
And when you said, look, I feel it's the vaccines.
No, the neurologist said that it was probably the vaccinations. And then they came out with the study. When he was 2.5 months old, they weren't sure what it was. But then after they couldn't control the seizures and whatnot, then when he got to Loma Linda, it was Dr. Tomasi that said no more vaccines, no more nothing when it comes to that for him. I've had to fight the school districts on it, but when he was going to school, we were able to sign that it was a religious belief. So it wasn't as hard as what they're doing right now. But it's been nothing but absolute hell. He still has uncontrolled seizures, not as bad, because they finally got him on some kind of medication. Actually, the prednisone is the one that stops it. But I can't get services. It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. We're fighting right now. We had to get a limo today, which this guy donated his limo to bring us up here because I can't get handicap accessible transportation. We had to borrow the wheelchair.
And they won't give you that because I mean, he clearly is very handicapped. Why won't
Because I have to take him to court and sue them in order to get it. We're actually in the fair hearing process right now. We had to move up to a dirt road, area in a dirt road, in order to get a handicap accessible housing for him, which we had to buy the house. And so now they're telling me that I can get, that they'll help me with a few dollars with a regular van. And I actually need to get a 4-wheel drive where we live.
So let's just get this clear for the people that say that you're an anti-vaccine mum. You vaccinated your son because you believed in vaccines.
I took him to his first pediatrician appointment, and they said, here, we're going to vaccinate your son, and I didn't know the difference.
Did you know that if anything, any side effect was going to happen to your son, that nobody would take responsibility?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I had no idea. We had no idea that anything was going to happen. Now, I wouldn't vaccinate him if my life depended on it.
What do you say to new parents that are starting out with their babies?
don't do it. Demand that the federal government do more testing or not do the vaccinations. If you're going to do a vaccination, if you absolutely must do a vaccination, separate them. Do maybe one at a time. Make sure they're regulated and make sure the federal government is going to back you up, because otherwise it's a lifelong journey.
We're so sorry this has happened to you. It's awful.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
We love you.
He's a good boy.
We love you.
He's a good boy. And let me tell you, our government at this point offered to put him in a home rather than give services. And that's wrong. This kid will never leave my side. But they said that they would stick him in one of their government-funded homes rather than let him stay at home. And that's what it's going to come to, because they can make more money doing it that way. I wouldn't vaccinate my kid, another kid. I never had any more kids because I wasn't sure what the problem was. And they said they blamed it on a gene along with the vaccinations, and they wouldn't test me because it was too expensive. Then I never had any more kids.
Will you write his name on the bus?
I will write his name on the bus, and I hope he makes a difference. Because
he will make a difference.
I don't want any other kids to have to go through this. It's not fair. It's not right.
No, it's not right. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm just so sorry that this has happened to your beautiful boy. Everybody loves you, by the way. There's lots of hearts and love coming in for you.
You know what? You know what? Yeah, this is for something. There's a reason that this happened. We're gonna make a difference in this world, buddy. We are.